Alright, welcome to episode 4 of the cabin build. Obviously, I didn't post last week. I posted a camping video, but I didn't have any time to work on the cabin last week. But this week, I got a lot of progress done, so I think you guys are going to enjoy the video. Enjoy the video. Alright, so I think I found the beam that I'm going to use, but it's a little too long. So I'm going to cut it with this chainsaw and get it down probably 3 or 4 feet less than it currently is. Alright, I got the beam cut. It was a little bit difficult to get the chainsaw started, but it worked out pretty good. As you can see, it's pretty flat, actually. All right, so I wasn't able to film it that much, but I got a big beam in here. As you can see, I put an extra footer around it because I had an extra little bit of concrete in the bag. I got 4 supports, and I make sure it was completely leveled out. But I'm going to go home and harvest the potatoes that are in the hay because it's supposed to snow tomorrow. And I'd like to harvest them before it snows. Pretty cool, though. So it got so cold last night, it was like 15 degrees for like 12 hours. I can just step on the mud puddles. Ah, I'm gonna fall through! That's actually pretty cool. So I'm gonna need to use this cart to move the beams because my brother's not out here. Last time when I moved the one beam, my brothers were here to help me move the beam because they're super heavy and they're super big. So hopefully I can move it with this thing. Oh! Almost fell through. This stuff is very thin, but super thick at the same time. Well, it looks like I forgot all the DeWalt batteries at the house. I thought they were here, but I think they were on the front porch. Usually we have them in the back porch. But I think today what I'm going to have to do is just put some beams over there. I won't be able to put them in place, but should be able to, get them over there at least so I can put concrete around them. So it looks like my little log cabin that I made has dried out a lot. These logs were super wet when I camped in it. If you guys haven't seen the video of me camping in this log cabin, I'll link it in the description. You can go watch that. It's pretty cool, actually. But I think I'm going to take this little fire thingy that I have in here and start a fire over there because it's super cold out here. I need to warm up my hands. So I didn't actually film it that much last week, but I was able to put a beam in place and squared it all off, made sure it was completely level. That way I can put some more beams in here and create a big cabin. So I wasn't really able to film it last week, though. Yeah, if you're wondering why there was no video last week, I simply just didn't have any time to come out here because when I was available for coming out here, it was super wet and super snowy and stuff. And you can't really work in the dirt and stuff when it's super wet because it just becomes mud and slush. So I wasn't really able to post last week, except for I did post a video of me camping in that cabin, and actually is like my biggest video yet, so I'm kind of glad I did that. Look at the heat coming out of there. Yeah, you gotta be slightly careful when you're blowing down here, because once you blow in the air out here, the flames will shoot out this way, and it can burn your face if you're not careful. But this thing is heating up pretty nice out here. This pipe was like super silver, and now it's like golden purple down there a little bit. Shooting out some big flames, actually. Alright, now that I'm nice and warmed up, I'm going to go get some beams and bring them over here and try to find the best ones to put up here. Because I don't want them to be too long, but I don't want them to be too short either. So let's go do it. Alright, so these are the beams I have to work with. I need to find 3 good ones. Then I need to move them over there. I think I won't be able to put them in place today, but I will probably tomorrow. Well, look at all those little roaches or bugs or whatever there. But I think I have a 19-foot beam right there and another one on that side. I think those are going to be my middle brace for the roof because I was going to come down, but I think I want to save these for the middle because it's not very often you get a 19-foot beam like these that are straight like this. So I think one of the other ones will work though. Good boy. All right, I got one beam on here. This cart will make it a whole lot easier to move them. I think I'm going to get the other 19-foot one on here. I'm going to move them over. This cart will definitely make it easier to move them. Alrighty, that's 2 beams on here. I'll move them over there and unload them. Alrighty, I got both of them over here, but I think next time I'm gonna have to move them one by one, because with two beams on here, these wheels just simply drag into the ground too much, and it's super hard to move this thing. Plus, you can't really get behind it because you have to have the beams from that end that way and out that way, so you can't really stand beside it. So it's difficult, but I'm getting it done. All right, that's two done. I got to get one more and then I'll be done. Sun's almost gone, so I need to go home anyway. It's getting really cold out here really quickly. Sparky's not wanting to get off my log, man. You gotta get off, man. Jump down, jump. Wanna say hi? Silly doggy. This is the last beam, and then I'll head home after this, because it's getting cold and dark. So, you ready to go home, Sparky? Alrighty, that's all three beams that I needed to get, and I think I'm gonna pack up and head home because it's getting dark. I need to go home for dinner, and I'll come out here tomorrow. My dad's picking me up some concrete right now, so I should be able to put the rest of the beams in tomorrow. So I'll see you then. Alright, so I got all the concrete out here, I got all the beams ready, I got everything ready. I just need to cut some 10-foot boards so that I can put it from one beam to the other beam, and I know exactly where 10 foot will be. And I need to cut some boards. Here, let me show you. I need to cut some boards for this type of thing, for when I put the beam in the ground. These are just supports that are temporarily be on here. Obviously, I'll have to take them off eventually, but this will make it so much easier to level this whole thing out, because if you didn't have these, then you'd have to kind of hold it there the whole time, and it makes it where it's not going to fall over. Alrighty, I think I'm going to use some boards like this that are really small. They're about, 3 inches by half an inch maybe. They're not going to be supporting. They're just going to be 10 foot long to show me how far apart these beams need to be. So I think I'm going to cut these into 10-foot sections. Alrighty, slight plan change. Instead of using those super thin boards, I'm going to use these 1-inch thick boards. And that'll make it a whole lot easier to secure them, and it'll make it so much stronger and square. Alright, so I'm going to move these supports off of here because this beam is solidly in place with all that concrete. Unfortunately, last time I didn't have the screwdriver here, so I had to use a electric nail gun. But I only put about 2 in each, so it should be pretty easy to get out with this hammer. So I got the beam, all the supports off of it. Now I'm going to take one of these 10-foot boards, put it on the back side of that beam so I can put another beam in and make sure it's 10 foot across. So I got the 10-foot board right here. The beam will sit right here where the edge of it is on this end, and then I'll put some concrete around it. This is gonna turn out pretty nicely. All right, my brother Jason's here. We're gonna put in the beam real quick and put some support beams in, some concrete in, and then we'll work on the next one. All right, so a bit of a mishap here. This is 9 foot by 10 inches to the outside of this because it's 2 inches off. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to take this post hole digger and this iron thingy and dig out 2 inches this way so I can move the beam over, because I want this thing to be exactly 10 foot by 10 foot. All right, that took a lot of work, but we got it squared out, and it's 10 foot from there to there. We got it all leveled up, so I'm gonna fill this with concrete. I don't like that there's so much on this side and not that much on that side, but I'm gonna have to go with what I got. So I'm gonna level it as I put concrete in to make sure it stays level the entire time. All right, now that I got it all leveled up, I'm gonna put some concrete in here. I got a water and some Quikrete. And I have 2 bags for each of the posts, but I don't think we're actually gonna need that much if I had to guess. So we'll see how much I have left over. Alrighty, I just put 2 80-pound bags, so 160 pounds of concrete in here. Honestly, if I have a little bit left over from any of those bags from putting the other ones in, Then I'm gonna mound it up a little bit because I don't like how it's, you know, got a wall around it where it can have water in it. So if I don't have enough concrete, I'll probably get more and put another, you know, mound above it so that I can have a drain off, because I don't want a lot of water getting around the beams. But I'm gonna let that dry out a little bit, and then I'm gonna work on, I guess, this one next. All right, so I think I've given this enough time to dry out a little bit. It's been about 30 minutes. Obviously, I'm not going to take the supports out or anything. I want to keep this supported for at least like 40 hours or probably something like that. But I think I'm going to get Dayton to come help me, and we're going to put in this next beam and get it all lined out, leveled up, and ready to go. Sparky's out here helping us too. All right, I put the third one in. This one was a lot easier to level out, wouldn't you say? It was put in there actually, and I didn't have to dig anything out. I did dig out before I actually put in this time. I actually used my brain this time. But I'm gonna put, wait, what? I'm gonna put some concrete in here and get it all dried out, and then we're gonna put in that final one, triangulate from here and here into here. So I'm gonna put some concrete in here now. All right, that's the fourth beam put in place with concrete around it. This looks pretty cool. Let me get a wider shot. 4 beams put in place, and we had enough concrete, just enough to put all the beams in place. So I'm glad we got as much concrete as we did. All right, now that the sun's almost gone, we got a lot of work done today. We got 3 beams in. I got a lot more than I was expecting to get done. I wasn't expecting to be able to get all 3 of these in today, but I'm very glad that we did. So I'm gonna head home now. All right, so it's been about 2 days since I put in the concrete down here. The concrete seems to have dried out. Obviously, over there it looks a lot drier, but it rained last night, and I think it's supposed to rain tonight. So obviously it looks a lot wetter than it actually is, but I think what I'm gonna do next is get some beams to go from there to there to there. You know, each corner have some beams, maybe put some beams on top. The main thing that I'm contemplating right now, like I was saying, the main thing I'm contemplating right now is either to put in the frame type of wall where you put in, you know, like 2x4s that go this way, you know, the frame, just like a regular frame, or skip the frame, take 10-inch boards, not 10-inch, 10-foot boards, go from there to there, and just go across and put, you know, whatever, how many I need to cover the entire thing. And that would make a good wall too. But the A-frame, no, not the A-frame, the regular framing like you would usually do would be a lot stronger, I believe, but kind of unnecessary for such a project like this. But I also need to figure out the flooring. I think my main plan right now for the flooring is to do the regular flooring of, like, you put every 16 inches, you put a 2x10 that's 10 foot long, and that would make a pretty secure floor. But we'll see what happens. You know, I still got to figure out this whole thing because I'm learning as I go, as I say. I think that's about it for this video. I guess I'll see you guys on the next video. If you like that video, make sure you like the video and comment and subscribe, and it'll make it where you can see the new videos that are coming out soon. We'll see you next time.